Greetings. R. Frederick Riddle here with another Christian News and Views, episode 176. This is Monday. In watching the news over the weekend, that's how I find it a hard thing to really focus in on. A lot of issues going on in Washington, D.C., but they seem to be in flux. Um, and then there's this continuing thing about, well, the attack on Iran was it successful or not? And I started to focus in on that because there's something that didn't ring right. The liberal magazines and stuff like this and news outlets, they started talking about, well, he knocked them down, but maybe they're going to be back up in a few months. And they've been, even in the UN, there's been uh, criticisms, if you will, speculation, if you will. So I got to thinking about this, and the more I thought about it, I think that the president is making a mistake. He's letting himself be drawn into a debate that he can't really win. He's got the facts on his side, but he's allowing the other side to um, create the parameters of the debate. And they're doing it in a way that no matter which way he goes, no matter what he says, they can say, "Oh, aha, aha." So he claims that the attack on Iran was totally successful, while his detractors keep harping on perceived failings. So today is essentially all opinion, my opinion. So let's dive let's dive into it. I think the pro-Trump people are missing the point. It does not matter whether the facilities were totally destroyed or not. And that's what they're allowing the liberals to lay out the battleground on. And it is true that Trump uses strong language to indicate how he views it. And he's allowed to do that. But don't get into a debate about it. It just doesn't matter. Nor does it matter the timetable. excuse, excuse me, my allergy is going away. Believe me, it is going away, but it's very slow and and it doesn't like to go very easily. So it doesn't matter. The timetable doesn't really matter. As I recall, and I could be wrong about this, as I recall, the world was on the edge of seeing Iran deliver an overwhelming nuclear attack upon Israel, and perhaps even the United States itself, certainly the United States interests elsewhere. The United States had to do something. Now, let me back up a little bit. In war, there is the time needed to plan, provide, and project your military response. In World War II, the Japanese were running all over the world, and victory after victory after victory. Well, the Pacific world, anyhow. Well, the United States had apparently already had research going on into nuclear weapons, and they began. They speeded it up. They did more money for the research and the planning, the practicing, and finally launching the attack. So yes, speed had to be upscaled, but it took time. And so this is my point. The bombing of Iran's nuclear missile sites didn't just happen one day. The president sat on his desk and said, I think I'm going to attack um, Iran today. This this whole idea of the bombing and everything, It may not have been actively pursued by the former administration, but it was there in the military uh, arsenal, if you will. And the research was going on and the planning and all that. May not have had any um, supercharged energy about it, but when Trump became president of the United States, he saw to it that that was speeded up, and it eventually led to the bombing of the Iranian nuclear missile sites. It was an unqualified success. They did what they were supposed to do, which was to stop this attack in its tracks. And they did. Now, not forever. Those of you who are Christians and take your Bible seriously, you know that the war between Arab and Jew is going to continue on. President Trump can do a lot of things. He can't change um, pre-written history. Uh, so we know the Iran will come back again. We know Russia will be back again. Right now, Russia, to my opinion, is more of a third world country right now. They can't even take on a little old country like Ukraine, let alone Israel. So uh, we know things like that are going to happen, and they can happen overnight. Things can change quickly. And so there's money back there. There's money. The Iranians have plenty of money. They have the resources they can tap to go back in, and if they have to start all over from scratch, they can do so. So you have men and women of low morals, filled with hate and finance to the hilt. You simply can't stop them in one fell swoop. Of course, the sites will be rebuilt and perhaps new ones established. I think we should monitor them as they're being rebuilt. I wouldn't attack them, not now. Just let them build. And just about the time that they're on the edge and ready to really do something serious, say, you know what? We had a nice little vacation there in Iran, a little back a ways. Let's go visit them again. Let them know we appreciate their hospitality. And so we'll just drop a few uh, thermonuclear bombs, some more bunker busting bombs. Just let them know we're thinking of them. I'm being cute, but the thing is that that is something the United States can do, and that is something that Trump has the willingness to do that. Um, it's possible that before uh, his successor, whoever that's going to be, takes office, uh, we could have one more attack, and that may again it won't obliterate the whole thing. I wish he hadn't used the words like that, but in his thinking, he has done so. At least in his time and in uh, his time in office and things of this nature, he has effectively shut down their program. For them to say that it's still going good, I don't think so. But the thing is, they will rebuild and they will come back, probably stronger. And we can go back in and destroy them again and again and again as a defensive measure. You got to understand in the book of Revelation, Russia, um, let's see, you have Russia, you have Iran, you have China, and there are other countries as well. There's some that might be actually friends of Israel right now, or at least say they are, and they will turn against Israel and come again. And there's going to come a time when they're successful to some degree, right until God intervenes. And when God intervenes, everything will appear all lost until He does intervene, and they will be temporarily, not fully, but temporarily stopped in their tracks. They will return again, this time during the tribulation period. And that will, there's at that time that God will bring it all to an end for at least 1,000 years. There's one more battle after that, but He doesn't really, He just opens His mouth and speaks, and that's it. So, so you got to keep history pre-written. Remember, that's what Revelation is. It's history pre-written. It's out there. It's coming. It's going to happen. And so there's nothing that Trump or you or me or anybody else can do to stop that. But we can push it back. We can have impacts. The longer we can push it back and hold it off, the more people who can get saved and get in and get to heaven. And so God's will, God, only God knows when that's going to happen. But the thing is, it can happen. And I think that we should let them rebuild. Smile at them. Nice job. Oh, by the way, we're coming in to visit you again. So hopefully you've enjoyed my take on this today. Uh, in spite of my allergies, I can still have a little bit of a sense of humor. But the thing is this, that President Trump delivered a stop. I mean, you can call it stopgap if you want, but it's a very, very big stopgap. They were ready to attack. It was only days, if I recall, they were within days of being able to launch their attack against Israel and, like I said, other U.S. excuse me, other U.S. Assets, or like the United States itself. As they improve the range of their missiles. So the thing is, he accomplished the task he was given to do. He did it in a major, major way, and that whether it's 3 months, 6 months, a year, I don't care. It stopped, and it's going to take them time to rebuild and get reacclimated, get to properly train people in there, and all that stuff. It's going to be more than 3 months. Physically, you might be able to reestablish some things in 3 months, but there's people that died in that, critical people. So I think it's going to be more than three, no matter what. So in any case, I think that this was an absolute success by the Trump administration, and they shouldn't allow people to spin it. Just stick to their guns and say, and don't debate it. Don't get in these little minor little debates, because this is a war. It's one war that we can't win. God's going to win it, and He's got His own timetable for that. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I look forward to the next episode of Christian News and Views. Oh, and by the way, if you have not subscribed to this channel, TNR Independent Books, then I encourage you to do so. Just simply click on the icon and subscribe, and you'll get access to my videos. You have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.